What's up, guys? Marvelous Mark here, and I'm here to bring you my review for The Walking Dead Season 1, Episode 4, Vatos. Well, this episode was okay. I thought it was more of a filler episode to get really to the ending of the episode. It wasn't bad, but I'm gonna go through it step by step. All right, we started off with Amy and Andrea. They're having a little fishing in the lake, and they're just basically trying to get food for everyone, and they're just having a little bonding moment. That's really it with them until the ending of the episode. So right now, Amy and Andrea they were fishing and they were getting food for everyone. Dell sees Jim digging by himself out there in the sun, and Dell later says in the episode it's about 100 degrees. So Jim's out there, he's digging and digging and digging for, we don't know yet. It's an unknown reason. Dell doesn't know. No one knows. So they basically, Jim looks like he's a crazy guy out there just digging holes, and that he's basically scaring the kids, and people don't know what's going on. So Jim, he ends up getting taken down by Shane, and then but first Jim was like, "Are you gonna beat me up like you did Ed?" Like he was telling him like he had no right to do that. You have no right over his family. And then Shane took him down. I mean, he had to do it because Jim, he was hurting himself, and he was putting fear into others. So really, in this type of situation, you gotta do something. You can't just leave Jim out there by himself, and he could have a heat stroke. He could just probably pass out. So that's good that Shane did that. He tied him to a tree and gave him water, made sure he was okay. So that's basically it with the camp for now. That was the beginning of the episode, kind of right there. And with Rick, Daryl, and Glenn, with them, it starts off. They're all on top of the roof still, and they're trying to see, like, they're talking about Merle and trying to see what happened. Daryl, of course, he's upset, but Rick, he's calming him down. He's telling him we can look for Daryl, but we're not gonna basically risk our lives for him. We still need those bag of guns. That's what we need to get. That's another priority. And of course, they look for Merle, and they see that Merle burned his stump of his hand with an iron, basically, and he took out 2 walkers. He got out the window. And then later in the episode, we don't see him actually do it, but it's referenced that he took the van that Rick, Daryl, T-Dog, and Glenn came in. So Merle, he's not there, and that's over with for now. The bag of guns. Glenn comes up with a plan to get the bag of guns. Glenn is the one who's gonna go out there because he says he's the fastest. So he goes out there. He has Daryl watching his back, and he has Rick and T-Dog on the other, he said 2 blocks away from him. So he had to change directions because of the walkers. So Glenn ends up getting the bag of guns, and he gets Rick's hat too. Then he runs back. He's running back to Daryl, right? But then Daryl, of course, he's a hunter. He's a tracker. He can hear things. He knows what he's doing. He hears some kid walking down the alley, and of course, his first reaction is, "Where's my brother?" He's asking that kid, "Where's my brother?" He has that kid basically with the bow and arrow just right there aiming at him, and then 2 other guys come up behind him and just start attacking Daryl. And the bag of guns, Glenn, he comes back, he sees it happening, he ends up dropping the bag of guns, but then the 2 guys that attacked Daryl end up taking Glenn, and Daryl ended up shooting one of the guys in the ass. It was pretty funny. I don't know, I forget his name, but he's always getting shot in the ass. Like, if you've really seen a lot of the other stuff that he's done, there was another one in Bruce Almighty. He got bit or something. I don't know. It was something, but off topic. Yeah, Glenn gets taken. So now Rick, Daryl, and T-Dog have to come up with a plan to get Glenn. And they go over there. They confront the leader of which they're called the Vatos. And the leader of the Vatos is called which is Gamoro, I think. And Rick tells him, like, "We're not gonna give you a bag of guns. This is my bag of guns." And the guy's telling him, "Well, when you come back again, you need to give me my person, my man, and the bag of guns." And of course, Rick, he starts to think about this. So they go back, they think about it, and then they go back again. So Rick, Daryl, and T-Dog are there now, and they go in, guns ready, they're locked and loaded, and they're ready to do this. But before they could, Gilmore, he's putting on this front that, he's hard, and he's taking down Glenn, like he's beating Glenn or something like that. He's gonna feed him to his dogs and everything like that. And there's an old lady that comes out, and it's the one who got shot in the ass. It's his mom or his grandmother, one of them, and she tells him that one of the people can't breathe. It needs his asthma, and right there, Rick and them, they just all slowly put their guns down because they don't know what's going on. And right now, we get to meet the Vatos. Basically, the Vatos, it's an old folks home, basically. All the people who worked there, they all left, the old ones there. And basically, Gamora and, I can't remember his name, but it was two of them that stayed behind. And G said that some of the Vatos, they come back and see their grandparents, see the parents, and some of them end up staying, some of them end up leaving, but most of them stay. So we get to learn about that. And the dog thing, when he was talking about the dogs, he had 3 Chihuahuas. That's what he had. That basically he was, oh my God, that was dumb. But yeah, Glenn was okay. Everyone was okay. We got to learn a little bit of their story, that people take things by force. They had to deal with people like that before. And they thought Rick and them were basically those kind of people, but Rick and them aren't. They just wanted their guns and trying to find Merle. But Rick ends up giving them guns, and everything ends up good, and they end up leaving. So when they go back and they're looking for the van's not there because Merle ended up taking, which is reference. I don't know if it's true or not, but I'm guessing it is. And they think he went back to camp for revenge. And then at the camp, everyone's having a good time. They're having their little fish fry. Dale's telling stories about his watch, like his timekeeping, keeping track of the days, and all of a sudden, the walkers start coming in. They end up killing Ed, which is not really a major character death, but I would say he's not a main character. He's just like another character. They killed a lot of background characters, and one of the main characters that they killed was Andrea's sister, Amy. That was one of the main deaths in the show as of now that happened, which was a little crazy. Greg Nicotero, he's the one who took the bite on her arm right there because he's the only one, I think, who knew where the bite mark actually was. It was a sad scene too, though, to see Andrea there just watching her sister die very slowly. It was sad. It was a touching moment. Rick and them, they came in and saved the day. Shane protected Lori Carl. He did what he had to do. Everyone protected Morales, Jim, Dale. Everyone did what they had to do. And right at the end of the episode, Jim says, "Now I know what I dug all the holes for," which for all these dead bodies and for all the corpses. So it was a pretty good episode all the way up. I really believe it was a filler episode all the way into the end, which we got to see the death and we got to see the camp being raided by walkers. To me it was a filler episode, so it wasn't bad. I'm glad we got to meet another group, but still, I still felt it felt kind of short. So I'm gonna give this probably a 7 out of 10, just because it's a filler episode. I really don't like filler episodes. I just wish they would have put more of the comics. I don't know if you read the comics, guys, but the comics are pretty different. So I really wish they would and put more of that in there. But whatever. I give this episode a 7 out of 10. Yeah, guys, that's my review for The Walking Dead Season 1, Episode 4, Vatos. I'm gonna leave an icon right here so you can click. Make sure you hit that like button and come back and check back for more.